Now we're going to have a look at trig functions. They are inverted functions, the ones that you already know. So we're just going to have a look in this little video of how they are created on a graph and then how they are connected to sine and cos and so forth. Okay, so we know what the graphs of sine, cos and tan look like, but what happens if you invert them? I'm not talking about the inverse function, I'm talking about making it 1 over. So you could make a table of values and you know your sine, cos and tan exact values and then do 1 over that answer. I'm going to do this very quickly with you so you know what sine should look like. Apologies for the graph, it's the best I could do. So you know that it's 0, sine is 0. You know sine 30 is a half. You know that sine 45 is 1 over root 2. You know sine 90 is up at 1 and so forth. So I'll put that in for you to start with. The next thing is when you have all those answers, then what would 1 over that answer be? So the first one is when sine is, you put sine 0 and you get 0 out, then 1 over that would be 1 over 0. And you know that you can't divide by 0, you get undefined out, and it goes to infinity. So the next step is that if you put in 0 and you get 1 over 0, you actually get undefined. I've not put that symbol in there, I'm just emphasising what's happened. If you put 1 over a half, 1 over 2 flips up to 2, 1 over root 2 flips up to root 2, 1 over 1 just goes to 1. So I start getting my values. Yeah. That means that if you have it going to infinity, you'll have it going away up here. You'll see I've put a little infinity symbol there. I could have put an infinity there, but I'm just showing you that it goes way, way, way up there. At 30 degrees, it's up at 2. So let's say it's like something like that. And then beyond that, at 90, you are still at 1. So it goes something like that. Okay. When you plot them all, you end up with this graph looking like this. So that is the inverted graph of sine x, 1 over sine x, and instead they give it a different name, and this will start being introduced into your derivative soon. So we call it cos x. The way to try and remember it is if you've got 1 over sine, then it is the function that doesn't start with the s, that is, so it's the c. I'll explain that when we've got them all. Do the same with cos, so you know that at 0 it's up at 1, and then you know at 90 it's at 0 and so forth, so we can do that. And then you can start doing 1 over 1, 1 over root 3 over 2, and do flipping and things like that. So what you end up with is 1 over a half, and then you get to 1 over 0, and what happens, again, that goes undefined. So let's look at this. So at 0 you get 1 out, and actually 1 over cos x you get 1 out, so it's here. And then I'll jump to 60 because it's a little bit easier to plot. At 60 you're at 2, so let's say 60 is about here and you're going here, and then when you get to 90 you've got 1 over 0 which goes undefined, and it's like that. Okay. As you go along, then you'll see that let's go for 180. At 180 you're at minus 1 again, so you're here. And then let's go to 90. At 90 you're way up at infinity, but see if you go to 91 in your calculator and then do, you know that beyond 90 it's negative, it goes way down here. And then you have this kind of impact going on. Eventually when you plot them all you get a pretty graph like this. And that is what 1 over cos x looks like, but they don't call it that because that's more awkward. They call it sec x. Lastly, tan x. You know, tan's a very difficult one for you to draw, but that's my effort of it, if you want to call it. I know that tan of 0 is 0. So what happens if you put 1 over 0, it goes to infinity. So this time I'm away up here. And then I know that tan 45 is at 1, so 1 over 1 is at 1, and so forth. So you'll find that the graph then goes like that, and we get this. 1 over tan x has a new name as well, and that is cot x. So here we go. These are the three inverted graphs, 1 over sine, 1 over cos, and 1 over tan. You don't have to know what the graphs look like, but you do have to know their connection with sine, cos, and tan. So here's the easy version for you. The one with the t is related to tan, so cot x is 1 over tan x. So you will now start seeing these functions being introduced. They're just rearrangements of your sine, your cos, and your tan. Cos x at the denominator is to do with sec x. So the way to try to remember these is it's the opposite. So you know your cos and sine. So if it starts with cos x, it starts with the c, then it's 1 over the one with the s. And if it starts with the s, it's the 1 over the c. Okay, it inverts it. Right, so they are your new functions to know. And in the next video, we're going to use them.